Hi, I'm doing my second career profile on a community counselor, and a community counselor is someone that helps individuals or groups cope with a situation that has happened in the community, either being something like a natural disaster or some type of tragic event. And a community counselor works with individuals or with groups of people to help cope with these changes that have happened in their lives due to the event that has happened in the community. Another thing a community counselor does is they look at the situation that's happening in the community and they evaluate what's going on and they try to find the root of the problem. Now, if it's a natural disaster, it's pretty obvious what it is. The natural disaster is the root of the problem. But there's other situations, either economical or death or something like that, that are, you have to dig a little bit deeper to see the problem, and they try to find the root of the problem, and then they think of plans of actions that they can do. They make game plans with individuals or with the community or with particular groups of people to help cope with the situation. They also work largely with community leaders to get their involvement and their help, and also their help with getting things like outreach programs together to help the community deal with a stressor or situation in the community. Now, a community counselor is a very broad topic, but you can work a more specific thing in the community, either being a school or some type of career counselor. You can be a mental health counselor, a rehabilitation counselor, a substance abuse counselor, a behaviors disorder counselor, or a marriage and family therapist. All of these are forms of community counselors. They're just a little bit more specific of a job. Now, a community counselor will be involved with all ages, all groups, individuals, families, various different things. A typical day of something that a community counselor could do is interviewing and evaluating their clients or the situations in the community, identifying goals, help reach those goals, and identify strategies to treat or to accomplish these goals, and help just people cope with things. The education that is required, a minimum for a community counselor, is a master's degree. Things like certificates and extra things aren't necessarily required. Some states do require special certification. Others do not. It kind of just depends on where you are. A working environment for a community counselor is just more like an office setting, but they can work in many different places. They can work in a clinic, they can work in a hospital, they can work for social service agencies, they can work for a private business or just like a normal business, or they can even own their own private practice. So it's a very broad thing that they can do. They can work in very many different aspects of this particular job and different places in this job. Now, the benefits of this job are obviously just very obvious things of helping people in the community, helping individuals, helping families, helping just across the board people. Other benefits are this is a very high job rate growth of a job. Like, it's estimated to have a 19 to 37% increase of jobs in the next 10 years. And so it's a very rapid growing profession that is needed. And the other benefits are, there's competitive salary in some aspects, and, you can benefits like, medical coverage or life insurance and things like that, and paid time off. Now, the salary is a very wide range. On the lower spectrum is about $37,000 a year, and a bit on the higher spectrum is about $57,000 a year. It also depends on where you live. Washington State has an extremely high pay rate versus like Portland, Oregon has like the lowest pay rate. So it kind of just depends on where you are on the pay. And thank you for listening.